Alright, it's been a while since I posted any videos, so I wanted to check in and see how everyone's doing. I hope everyone's hanging in there. Remember, above all else, be kind to one another and try to stay healthy, okay? So last weekend I had a small incident occur on the 2014 Sierra. We're not going to talk about how it happened, we'll just acknowledge that it happened. So you can see I'm holding the mirror glass in this hand, and the mirror is still mounted to the truck, alright? So after a little bit of research, I learned that this whole mirror assembly is about $300 for an OEM GM assembly. The glass itself is about $150, and there are some aftermarket options as well. But what I learned through that research is that all I really need to do is replace the motor assembly, and it's about $60 with shipping. This backplate that we have on the mirror here, we'll get a closer look here in just a second, is actually supposed to be attached to the motor. Now I did try a little glue job, and I just realized that it wasn't worth risking losing the mirror because the glass itself is $150, so let's just replace the motor, okay? So the first thing we're going to do is remove this old motor assembly from the mirror housing, okay? Alright, so this motor assembly is actually held in place with 4 T10 Torx head screws, so there are 2 here, and then 2 here, okay? I've actually had this out, and I actually had it disassembled because one of these adjustment arms was also broken. So I took the whole assembly apart. There are 2 motors in here, and I glued it, and there is a part of me that thinks that would hold. But this here is what I was concerned about, and if I was, cruising down the interstate at 70 miles an hour or whatever, and the glass falls out, that's going to cost me $150, so let's just spend the $60 now, okay? I'm going to go ahead and remove the other 3 Torx head screws, and then we'll pop this out of here. I'll get you a quick shot of the electrical connection as well. Alright, there's a shot of the screw. It's a T10 Torx, okay? The other thing I'll note is this is the electrical connection for the blinker that resides in the mirror glass, and then this is a heated mirror as well, like a defrost, and I taped up all the connections because I did drive around for a week, and I didn't want those to short out on each other or anything like that. Okay, so on the back of this, let's see if we can get you a shot. Electrical connection here. That's just going to pull out. Okay, so next we need to go remove the old backplate from the mirror glass. Okay, let's go do that real quick. Alright, so there's a look at the back of our mirror with our backplate. Okay, I'm going to flip it upside down here. Now I'm guessing that this repair would also work if, say, you cracked your glass. If you could pop this out without breaking the backplate off the motor, you might just be able to pop this out and replace it that way. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take and I've had this off already, but I put it back on because that's how much I love you guys. We're going to take a flathead screwdriver, and we're going to work at each one of these. There's a little tab that slides into a slot, and I'll give you a shot of that real quick. Okay, so what we're going to need to do is take our screwdriver, and we're just going to do each one a little bit. Okay, you can see it just rocked out a little bit. You don't want to force one all the way. You want to work them out slowly so that it comes out evenly. You don't break anything, right? Now, obviously, it wouldn't matter if we broke a tab off the old backplate unless, it fell down inside of here or something like that, all right? That's all there is to it. Now, we're not going to put this on until we mount our motor, right? All right, we'll get the electrical connection plugged in, and it really only goes one way. There's sort of a notch on the top, and that goes on the top of the motor assembly. They don't give you much slack, but that's okay. Just push it in until it kind of clips in. I get a little more of a straight on shot here with this angle, and I can actually see the hole here. Okay. And you can tell that these tabs go up, so we're going to be sliding the mirror down. And I'm just going to get them all in, and then I'll go around and tighten them all down. All right, let me get that done. All right, those are all in there, and obviously don't go animal with them. Now we're going to remove our tape here because we're going to need to plug these connections into the back of the mirror itself. And the heater wires are pretty small, so we don't want to rip the end of the terminals off or anything. And as always, I'll link to parts down below in the description and the comment section. And certainly if you have any questions or comments about this process, I'll try to do my best to answer every question except for how did it happen. We're not going to talk about that. All right, let me get the glass. Okay, just so I can show you the connections, once we get this glass turned around, you'll see them. The two heater wires go here, and the blinker wire goes here, plugs into that little connection there, okay? That connector only goes one way. It's sort of curved on the bottom. These ones, it doesn't matter because it just puts current through the back of the glass. Okay, make sure they're on there good because we don't want to have to try to take it back off. Okay, everything looks good to me. Okay, so we see what we're doing here. These little tabs are sliding into, I can't get my finger on one here, these, okay? Let me move the camera real quick. Okay, so we're going to get it in place, and once I get it started, I may actually take something plastic and try to wedge it in between the top of the housing and the mirror. And the other issue we may have is if I can't get it up high enough, I may have to angle that motor assembly like that, right? Because that would allow us to tip the mirror like that. But let's give it a try like it is right now here. See how we make out. I'm going to tip it down just a little bit here. Okay, I think I've got it right there like that. Now, obviously the key is we want to push the glass down into the housing without breaking the housing off the motor. Otherwise we'll be in the same boat. I think that was it right there. It looks properly proportioned around. Obviously you need to wipe the smudge marks off. Alright, but before I do anything else, really what I want to do is test the blinker, test the motor assembly, make sure it all works, okay? So you can see if the glass was broken. Obviously you're not going to be able to get a screwdriver in behind there, but you might be able to take something, you know, plastic or something and try to wedge up on it. Just now knowing how the glass attaches to the motor assembly, I believe that could be done, okay? So if this had a big old crack in it, you could probably just replace the glass and get out of it for a little bit less. All right, let's test it out. All right, the blinker works. That's a good sign. Down, left, right, and up. Hey, thanks for watching. Remember, have fun, be safe, and be kind to one another. More DIY videos coming up. Stay tuned.